success of this film, and that's something that I want to put out over the microphone. If you notice, a lot of celebrities that have films, especially go directly to DVD, will do everything within their power to guarantee the film's success. And honestly, there's nothing really guaranteed in Hollywood, and there's really nothing guaranteeable about So Undercover. We can guarantee one thing about So Undercover. Fans of Miley Cyrus will review this thing positively, and there will be more criticism from people who have hated on her for years than anything else. Without a doubt, there will be more criticism that you will see for So Undercover than anything else, but I'm going to go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt and say that this is going to be a successful DVD release for her because of the perception that we're seeing. I followed every edition of Hannah Montana. Each show had a different theme and a different story to it. It was kind of fun seeing how they kind of tried to develop a story that would be followed up from show to show in the final season of Hannah Montana Forever. I felt as if there could have been a lot more improvement with the Hannah Montana series, especially with seasons 1 through 3, and then season 4 tried to develop some kind of plot that will continue from show to show to show. I felt they could have went further with that. She gets out of that, and then we see her doing all of these similar roles in romance films. It wouldn't have been my choice if I were a producer or a director of one of her films to have her involved in a romance type film. I would have immediately come out of the box with an action type film, but I guess the directors and the producers wanted her to have something small to do in Hollywood to kind of make a successful transition from doing a TV series into a theatrical release that would be done more than often. So I do give them credit for doing that, but I wouldn't have immediately started her off with a romance. I would have started her off with something different, because she is one of the most skilled people that I have had the privilege of actually seeing do things for both television and for Hollywood on bigger platforms. She has been dealing with a lot of pressure over the last few years. The tabloids have absolutely crucified her, but with all that negativity, it's only made her better and more influential and more of an inspiration than she's ever been. She just recently debuted a new look and posted a statement on Twitter. If you haven't seen her brand new look, it is a very different look for her. Not a big fan of her new look, and really that's the only little bit of criticism that I want to throw her way. She probably should not have changed her look. The way that she looked before was outstanding. Not a big fan of how she looks now, especially with upcoming theatrical releases and DVD releases and so many outside of Disney projects. I just wish more of her projects were more successful since leaving Disney. I think leaving Disney so early in her career was a huge gamble and really a huge mistake. People like Selena Gomez still with Disney, still holding on there for another few years. Alex versus Alex is anticipated. The Wizard's return is going to be huge in Canada. Looking forward to that. Some people in the States have probably already seen it. I have not. But you have these people staying with companies that brought them to the dance. That is a huge, huge thing for them to do, and I have a lot of respect for them to do that. You know, Ashley Tisdale is someone who never strays away from Disney, but you have Miley Cyrus making the decision to jump from Disney to Touchstone Pictures so fast, and it's almost as if she kind of screwed herself over. But hopefully So Undercover will pick things up for her right where other movies left off. The thing about her other movies that didn't make them so successful was the fact that it was the same kind of role all the time for her. She plays a rebel character in pretty much all of her films that have a little bit of a romance theme to them. Not a big fan of romances myself, but I will pretty much sit down and watch anything that is released on DVD. I've been doing that for the last few years, and I have one of the biggest DVD collections of all time that includes everything from animation right through to romances and horrors. You would not believe the thousands that I have, and I recently got a copy of So Undercover, so I will be checking that out. But there are a couple of high points about this film. The trailers look fantastic. There has been a lot of hype over the last year and a half, and I've been really anticipating this movie, and I want to give it a positive review. I want to come on here probably a week or two from now and give it a better review than I did for LOL or The Last Song. I wish there would have been a bigger turnout for the premiere of The Last Song, which I attended back in 2010. I was expecting anywhere from about 50 to 70 people in the theater, and honestly the turnout wasn't that great, and the turnout for LOL probably wasn't as hot either. I didn't have a chance to attend that one, but I have had the chance to attend several Miley Cyrus theatrical premieres over the years, and they have not been as big as they were to believe to have been within the first few days of the release. Now, she continues to win awards. That's the good thing about her. She just recently won a Teen Choice Award in 2012 for being one of the hottest female actresses, with Ian Somerhalder, who plays one of the vampires on The Vampire Diaries, which was pretty honorable for fans to actually choose her as one of the hottest female actresses. He accepted the award for her. The down point about that was she wasn't actually in attendance to accept her award, and here recently she's been developing a habit where she doesn't attend award shows, so maybe that's where a great deal of her criticism is coming from. You know, she's still winning awards, even though her film releases haven't been as successful as they've been anticipated to be by producers, directors, and herself. She seems to be someone who is using social media. She loves to sit behind a keyboard rather than make a lot of appearances, and that's a big thing that I think is a contributing factor to why a lot of her films aren't being as successful as they're anticipated to be. She's never making a media appearances. She's not making as many as she used to when she was a novelty character for Disney. Now, I understand how novelty characters are always promoted to a certain extent, but ever since leaving Disney, she's been making minimal appearances. You would think she would be striving to promote her films, and especially those that are going directly to DVD, because there's always a lot of doubt with films that directly go to DVD. Now, there are some of them that are just as good as theatrical releases, and you're kind of left with the impression, okay, why didn't this film go to the theater prior to coming to DVD? You know, Victoria Justice has a lot of positive things going for her. The good thing about her is she has a lot of theatrical releases to anticipate and look forward to. The fun thing about Fun Size was it was a theatrical release before it was ever released on DVD. That is also a latest release on DVD and Blu-ray, Fun Size. It's a Halloween-themed film, much like Hotel Transylvania, that was released about a month prior to Halloween on September 28th. Theatrically, but they are all great films. So you have Hotel Transylvania, one of the latest computer animated films, along with Ice Age 4, Continental Drift, some of the latest animated films, and you have Fun Size. So even though they're Halloween themed films and are really out of season, they are still fun ones to pick up and check out if So Undercover isn't the one for you. But I truly believe that this film is going to have something for everyone. There's a bit of action, there's a lot of unpredictability, and there's no telling how far this character will go for Miley Cyrus. Now, you may be a judgmental person, and you might look at some of her characters like Ronnie and the other character that she portrayed for LOL and immediately jump to a lot of criticism and say, you know, based on the success of her other films and how her characters have been perceived in these romances where she's played a consistent rebel, you know, I'm not really intrigued by the release of So Undercover. But everything about So Undercover seems to be in the right place, and you know, on a scale of at least 5 stars, I can rate it at least 2.5 out of 5 stars on a 5-star scale perspective, that this film is going to be a guaranteeable success for her, and it will guarantee her a prominent future. She has a lot of theatrical releases up and coming. Hopefully, she'll get back into a competitive realm with people like Victoria Justice, who have been receiving a lot of success since the release of our YouTube series on the show Victoria, striving to get them a primetime slot here in Canada. Very successful with that. I want to thank everybody who assisted with that, especially the folks at YTV, who are more than understandable of giving them a primetime slot Monday through Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday to Thursday, and keeping them in the 8 p.m. time slot in the Eastern slot on Monday. Very understandable folks there. Thank you guys so much for doing that, and hopefully the momentum for Miley Cyrus is going to pick up just as it has for other stars in her age demographic. Now, there are those stars within her age demographic that are very successful, perhaps more successful than she's ever been. Justin Bieber, of course, has got to be the most successful celebrity within her age demographic. Demi Lovato is another one. How she hosted the Teen Choice Awards in 2012 with one of the stars of Glee was absolutely fantastic. Ashley Tisdale is another one who is achieving a lot of success. We have a lot of young stars to look forward to in 2013 based on the success they're coming off of in 2012. And I just hope that Miley Cyrus's success picks up for her, because we haven't really seen anything prominent from her since the release of the last song. The most successful thing that she's done since leaving the Disney Corporation was the last song, and the turnout and the results of that one weren't exactly that great. I remember seeing the theatrical release being really let down with the turnout, and I was just as let down and disappointed with the sales of the DVD and the Blu-ray, which had a very short advertisement done for television putting it over. I remember seeing all the YouTube videos where Miley was consistently trying to put this film over, and even with all the consistency behind the promotion from both the producers, the directors, all the people that assisted with the film, and her herself, the film still didn't have a lot of success. So there are a lot of teen celebrities out there like Justin Bieber and Demi Lovato that are ahead of her with success. She really needs to get momentum and a lot of support